Hello, hello, hello. Look, this is going to be a special Wednesday night Asylum podcast here on this Sunday morning, Saturday night, Sunday morning ish. I mean, well, I guess it's 11:30. I guess we're still um, Saturday night, but still, this might go into Sunday morning. I'm talking about wrestling, WrestleMania. I'm talking about WrestleMania Vegas Night One. That's what I'm here to talk about. Um, and Night One was, I don't know. It was the first WWE event I watched in full in a long time. I mean, I've seen a few SmackDowns here and there, but as far as keeping up with WWE, this is how I keep up with WWE right here. I keep up with WWE in reels. I keep up with WWE in just different news sources. That's how I keep up with WWE. And basically, almost that's how I keep up with wrestling, to be honest with you. Because, I mean, in all honesty, it's like I worked for Wrestling for a Cause Chattanooga, and I appreciate the time that Sir William gave me with there. Those years I worked for him and they got their interviews and stuff. And because I mean, if it wasn't for Wrestling for a Cause Chattanooga, I wouldn't be doing this right now. I wouldn't be going out to do my own interviews right now. I wouldn't be doing none of this. And so Sir William has to think about that. So I mean, yeah, yeah. I mean, in all honesty, I mean that's the truth. And during that time frame, from 2022 to I guess 2025, um, working for Wrestling for a Cause Chattanooga, I got burnt out on wrestling. Literally did. Literally got burnt out on wrestling. I quit watching wrestling frequently, regularly, whatever you want to say. I would watch it every now and then, and I just keep up with everything right here, man. Just right here. I mean, if I wasn't, I mean, unless I'm doing a wrestling interview in public, in person, for wrestling, or unless I was doing a wrestling interview for Wrestling for a Cause Chattanooga, it's just like wrestling didn't matter to me, and wrestling's starting to matter to me again. And I have not watched WWE in a while. I have not watched WWE consistently in a while. The only wrestling show I have pretty much watched consistently overall as a whole is AEW. I'll be honest with you. I'll be honest with you. I mean, this is truth. There's truth to everything I say. It was AEW. I mean, I watched that more frequently than anything else. And I quit watching WWE regularly when Baron Corbin became the GM. All right, when that happened, they lost me. They lost me, and so other than Backlash, when I think it was Backlash, it was one of those you know, it wasn't the Rumble. It was one of those pay per views early in the year of 2025, so I can only assume it was Backlash. It was whatever the main event was, Cena and Orton, I do believe, if I remember correctly. And other than that pay per view, the only pay per view I've watched since then is night one of WrestleMania to Vegas this year, and that's why I'm reporting on that tonight. And so I've seen two WWE pay per views in a year. I've seen maybe a few SmackDowns. I am going to watch NXT though, Tuesday night, and all that's going to be reported on NXT Revenge or whatever it's called. It's going to be reported on next Wednesday. This Wednesday night coming up for the 15th episode of Wednesday Night Asylum, and it's going to be a special after Mania edition. So anyway, let me get started, get out of this ramble I'm on, and get started reporting on what I needed to report on. Now look, there's this text, this you know. If you watch WrestleMania, you know that WWE put their first hour of WrestleMania on ESPN or something like that, the regular ESPN on cable, and so we had one of the first match there was the Usos and LA Knight. Now I'll report more on LA Knight Wednesday, but it was the Usos and LA Knight against the Vision, and then I called that. I called that right down the middle. I knew what was going to happen before it even happened. I'm sitting there with my wise man at Twin Peaks, and I'll get into the Twin Peaks conversation too. But let me get through this match first. I'm sitting there with my wise man at Twin Peaks, and we're watching Mania, and I said, I guarantee you that Speed guy is going to cost the division the match, and boom, he cost the division the match just as fast as I said it, and so so then I said, I guarantee you that Logan Paul and company is going to take it out on Speed after he cost the match. Boom. Speed gets slapped to hell and back. And it's just like crazy when LA Knight comes into the ring and defends Logan Paul. And, you know, then the times that, everything gets turned around. And the Usos also get in the ring and they beat up the division. The next thing we know, Speed's putting Logan Paul through a table, doing Logan Paul's move from the ring to the commentary table, and it's just like, wow, wow, okay. I didn't predict that one. I predicted most of it, and Usos beat them. Usos and Logan. Usos and LA Knight beat the Vision, and but things could change in the Vision. I'll get to that in a moment. So I go to Twin Peaks with my wise man. We get there. I don't know. We get there. I picked him up about 3, and so I guess we got there around 4 o'clock or something like that. And we're sitting there, and I'm in one of my masks, right? I'm in the one with the horns on it, and that's the mask I wore there. And I'm getting like all sorts of attention from all these girls, man. Well, these girls that work there, and one of those girls said, I'm going to wear your mask by the end of the night. I said, only if you take it off of me. Only if you take it off of me. And by God, if she didn't take it off of me, I'm not sitting here and put it on her face. I'm like, and then, she gave it back immediately. But I mean, it's just crazy, man. It was a crazy night. I was surprised that, you know, Twin Peaks management allowed me to wear it in there and didn't say nothing to me about wearing it in there. But I got, all sorts of attention from customers to looks like, what the hell is this guy wearing this mask for? To, so, oh man, that's a cool mask. And it's just like, it was a fun time at Twin Peaks when me and my buddy, the wise man, and we got some pictures with some of the girls. One of the girls asked for a picture from me, and I of course turned around and said, "Can I get a picture with you?" And it's just like, it was amazing, man. It was an amazing time for the UWO at Twin Peaks while watching WrestleMania. But the next match up on the pre-show, which was it was a pre-show, but it was actually hour 1 of WrestleMania Vegas, night 1, was Drew McIntyre and Jacob Fatu. This was an unsanctioned match. Anything goes. I guess you just can't kill the other person, but anything goes. You know, weapons, this and that. But the pinfall and submission had to happen in the ring, and so they're going at it. They're going at it, hard, man. They're just beating the living daylights out of each other. And little did I know that that's not as hard as things were going to get throughout the evening. But they go back and forth. They're beating one another, and my buddy, the wise man, was wanting Drew McIntyre to win. I kind of knew Jacob Fatu would win, and Jacob Fatu did win that match. He did win that match, and he was really happy about it. I understand that backstage after the match, he got all emotional and started crying and boohooing and out of happiness, being thrilled at the death. I think it's his first Mania or something, and he won, and so I can understand that. I can understand that a lot, and so Drew McIntyre lost again. I mean, you know, my wise man was like, man, Drew got cheated out of a WrestleMania match with Cody, all this kind of stuff. I'm like, dude, man, Cody was the one that went to the executives, in charge of WWE. And I know I'm breaking kayfabe right now, but I might as well break kayfabe. But he went to the executives of WWE and wanted to do the change in the storyline. I mean, shoot, he wanted it. I mean, but then my wise man's like, well, that cheated Drew McIntyre out of being champion for a longer reign. It's like, man, he's gonna get that back eventually. You know that. I mean, gosh, please quit crying. Quit crying. You're not even drinking and you're over here crying. I mean, I didn't say that. I'm saying that here. If he sees it, oh well, he sees it. I mean, it's just a joke. That's all it is. But now we're going to go into major the major pay per view of WrestleMania Vegas. We're now we're now live on the air, and I don't know what this. Oh, I see what this is. There's something hanging from my mask. I was like, "What's hanging from my mask?" It's a reflection of my fandom or Fortress of Solitude. Anyway, it's AJ Lee versus Becky Lynch for the Women's Intercontinental Championship. Becky Lynch came out to a band that I have no clue who they are, what they sing or nothing. Okay, good for you. And AJ Lee came out with like a bunch of little AJs, which reminded me of the time, which I do believe it was WrestleMania 25, where I was in attendance at WrestleMania 25, um, where there's a bunch of John Cena's that came out, and but that's what it reminded me of. And that night, I mean, honestly, WrestleMania Vegas, I mean, night one, it's like none of the entrances for anybody amazed me any. I mean, well, one of them did, but we'll get to that in a minute. But the majority of them didn't. I mean, the majority of them didn't have big entrances at all, and it's just crazy, man. It didn't feel like WrestleMania. I mean, LA Knight came out of the big personalized truck. That was cool. That was cool. The little AJs, I mean, I don't know, whatever. If that's your fan base, come out with the little AJs. But it's like this: the match starts, and they're going back and forth, and going back and forth, and it's like then Becky loosens the top turnbuckle in the corner of the ring, and towards the end of the match pulls the referee toward her, and where you know she can get AJ to fall into the turnbuckle and stuff, and that exposed turnbuckle, and then win the match that way. It's just like that's a good, number one. If you grab a hold of the referee, you should be disqualified. All right. If you're grabbing, usually you are. If you touch the referee, the official, you're disqualified. So it's just like, what in the world, you know? Then it's like I heard AJ wants some time off after that match, which that's understandable. I think she's a mother or something like that, and so maybe she wants to go home and spend time with her child. If that's the case, okay, I understand it. Don't come back and want a rematch anytime soon. All right, next match we're going to talk about Gunther and Seth Rollins. Now, Seth Rollins' entrance was cool. His dark eyes was awesome. It reminded me of something horrific, man. It reminded me of something out of a horror story. And that was a back and forth match. That was maybe the best match of the evening. Honestly, maybe that was the best match of the evening. It's hard to say, really. I mean, it had some good matches, even though WrestleMania Vegas Night One has been dogged online on Facebook. I mean, people have just been like criticizing it for anything and everything. But the Gunther Seth Rollins match was good. I mean, there's plenty of action, a lot of kickouts, back and forth. And you thought Seth might win it until somebody had a vision. That was me. And Braun Breaker showed back up at WrestleMania. That's another thing I called with my wise man. I said, look, I said, Braun Breaker's coming back tonight. I guarantee you that. He comes back, he spears Seth twice, running down that huge walkway twice to spear Seth twice, and then Gunther beats him. You know, but that was a back and forth match. I mean, at times I thought it was going to be like Cena and Lesnar at SummerSlam, where Cena's put through Suplex City twice and loses. I mean, because in all honesty, I mean, Seth was put through Suplex City a few times, but he gave Suplex City right back to Gunther. So, I mean, I don't know. I don't know. You know, that chapter isn't closed. I don't think yet completely. I know the chapter with Braun Breaker isn't closed. You know, I wonder when Bronson Reed's going to come back, and it's just like maybe we'll see a Vision versus a Seth Rollins team at War Games at Survivor Series. I don't know. You might. Anything's possible. I mean, anything's possible. I mean, just saying. Let's see what's next up. The women's tag team match. All right, one of the Bellas. I think it's Brie. I think it's Brie Bella injured her foot or ankle or something. Couldn't get medical cleared. And then who else showed back up? Paige. Paige showed back up. I mean, that was. I mean, it didn't 100% surprise me, but it did surprise me that it was in that fashion. Paige shows back up, tags with Nikki in the four-way match for the women's tag team championships. The match, it wasn't as good as the singles women's match that night, which I'll get to momentarily. But mask, man. Oh, I'm sorry. But yeah, the four-way women's match wasn't as good as the women's championship match that night. But it was decent, and new champions were crowned in Paige and Nikki Bella. And this is my thought: somehow they're going to have to kick Paige out of the group. That way, the Bellas can be the champions again. It might be all fun and games for a while, and be all we're all going to get along. But you know, when Bree's foot gets better, or I think it's Bree's, it might be Nikki's, but I think it's Bree's. Foot gets better, she's going to want that other championship belt and tag with her sister again. I mean, honestly, something's going to happen to where they're going to become the tag team. That's my thoughts. That's my thoughts. That's unknown thoughts right there. And all right, let's see here. Let's see here. Going through my list here. The women's championship match, which was Stephanie Vaquer against Liv Morgan. And first off, Liv's entrance was wild. It was wild. I know it's a new song and everything, but the entrance she made was wild, and it was the coolest entrance of WrestleMania. It really was. I mean, Seth Rollins was cool, but it wasn't that cool. I mean, Nick, Liv Morgan worked out to do her song entrance as her entrance to wrestle, is her entrance to challenge Stephanie Vaquer for the women's title. All right, let's get to the ring. Stephanie comes out in her Demon Horns mask, which I thought, her Demon's Horns outfit, which I thought was cool. I mean, I think it's cool. I'm sorry, but gets in the ring. They have a back and forth match. You don't know which way it's going to go. Then Roxanne Perez interrupts, and then before you know it, Raquel Rodriguez interrupts, and before you know it, Liv Morgan's crowned the new women's champion. And I'm gonna get on that other women's championship match in my episode 15 video Wednesday night. But we have at least one new women's champion crowned after night one. We have one new women's intercontinental championship match, intercontinental champion crowned after night one, and now we're going into the match everybody was talking about. What I was saying about Pat McAfee in my last podcast. I liked what he was saying. But like I told the wise man, he was the only one out of the group, out of him and Randy Orton, saying that the industry sucks, this and that. We need to do this better. We need to do that better, and a laundry list of things they need to do better in professional wrestling in order to make wrestling great again. I say, I say to make wrestling great again. And but he was the only one doing it. I liked what he had to say that night. A lot of people didn't. I liked him coming out the way he came out. A lot of people didn't. And so Pat McAfee, of course, was in Randy's corner when when Cody came out and made an awesome entrance. Not as good as Liv's, I don't think, because I'm biased toward Liv Morgan. All right, just being honest. Just being honest. I'm not really a Cody Rhodes fan, but for me not to be a Cody Rhodes fan to like his entrance is saying a lot. It was cool, and I mean, he came out as the true American Nightmare, what you'd imagine an American Nightmare to be, and he was cool. I mean, I liked him. I liked his entrance. I don't really like him. I like his entrance. Sir William likes Cody beyond belief, but no, not me. Anyway, they had their match, and I was wondering personally if Ted DiBiase was going to come get involved. Ted DiBiase Jr. was going to come get involved in the match in any way. I mean, he was found not guilty. I mean, honestly, they can't hold nothing against him. He was found not guilty on all the charges that was brought up against him. So I mean, he's got a clean slate as far as the law goes. So I mean, if WWE wanted to put him out there, they weren't putting out a guilty man who, conducted Medicare fraud. They were putting out a not guilty man who the state rushed to judgment, I guess you can say, and try to put it on a case that they could not win. Obviously, could not win. So I was wondering if Ted DiBiase Jr. was going to be involved. That was my main thought. It's like, is this going to be some sort of legacy deal? Maybe Pat McAfee getting sunk down, and then Ted DiBiase Jr. comes out. I mean, Ted DiBiase Jr. was there that night in attendance at WrestleMania, Vegas night one. But of course, Pat McAfee gets knocked down, and by Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes beats the living hell out of him, and then next thing you know, Pat McAfee's getting splashed on with an elbow drop by Jelly Roll. So before the match really officially begins, Pat McAfee's drug off on a stretcher, and so then I guess Jelly Roll left, did his little elbow drop moment and left, and to leave it between Cody and Randy to settle things like men, one on one. That match went back and forth. It was crazy. Each of the participants of the match was trying the other one's finishing move on them, signature move on their opponent. The other person's signature move on that person's who has that signature move. I guess I'm talking out my head right now, but so that match was wild. It went back and forth, and then before you know it, Randy stuns the referee. Randy hits an RKO on the referee, and then here comes Pat McAfee with a referee's t-shirt on, and this was after Randy stunned the referee, wound up giving the RKO to Cody, and after the RKO was hit on Cody, Pat McAfee runs down with the referee's shirt on, tries to count 3 count, but only gets to 2.5 because Cody kicked out. This ticks Randy off, so Randy then RKOs Pat McAfee, and it goes back and forth some more, and honestly, as far as this was my second favorite match of the evening, the first one being Walter and Gunther, and then I mean, if you want to say that Liv Morgan and Stephanie Vaquero was my favorite match of the evening, you can say for the female side of the card it was. just because I was glad Liv won this championship. But Orton and Cody was back and forth, back and forth. It was crazy, man. And it's like before you know it, Cody winds up hitting Orton. I hope I'm saying this right. I know Cody winds up with a win. I can't remember if he hit this crossroads or what happened exactly to put two and two together, but he gets the 3 count and wins the match. He's trying to celebrate after the match, and he's lifting his title up in the air. Orton jerks the title out of Randy's hands, then pops Randy and I mean, then Randy pops Cody in the face with his own championship belt, knocking Cody to the ground. This in turn gives um, lines Randy Orton up with a chance to honestly field goal kick. I mean, Super Bowl winning field goal kick to Cody Rhodes' face. Then he lifts up the championship belt, and that's how WrestleMania Night One went off the air. And it's just like what's happening? What's going to happen in Backlash, Tampa? I mean, I, it's like I saw so many advertisements for Cody and Jelly Roll to face Pat McAfee and Randy Orton in a tag team match. But it's like I don't think that's going to happen now. I really don't. I think they're trying to figure out some different way to go, and I don't know which way they're going to go. I guess I'll find out beginning on Friday. I mean, just loosen this because it's coming apart anyway, and I guess we'll find that out on Friday. But I mean, I get home from Twin Peaks, and by the time I get home from Twin Peaks, there's a video online from the WWE, and that video is of Cody Rhodes' eye swollen shut. I think it's his left eye swollen shut, and blood running all around it, and, and WWE's medical doctors trying their best to treat it. It's just like, daggum, where did he get kicked in the eye? I mean, did it break his orbital socket? I mean, what happened, man? It's just like so. With that being said, I'm more likely than not to tune into Monday Night Raw tomorrow and to tune into SmackDown on Friday. I'm more likely than not, more likely I will than not. And I'm especially going to tune into NXT. NXT's got some big matches I want to see with the women, and it's gonna be a big wrestling week. It's gonna be a big wrestling week because Wednesday Night Asylum episode 15. It's going to discuss, you know, where we stand after Mania, and different things about night 2 that I did not mention, and of Mania. And like I said, I haven't watched night 2, but I've kept up with it in the wrestling news. I get what happened, and anyway, I appreciate everybody that's watched. Remember to subscribe to my channel, Unknown Asylum channel, because when you subscribe to the Unknown Asylum channel, you get Wednesday Night Asylum. Every Wednesday night around 10, maybe a little bit later, depending on when Dynamite goes off. When Dynamite goes off, I go live. Put it that way. Thank y'all for watching.